Campus of Penn State University, this is PSN News. It's Monday, April 13th. We have all you need to know about a man facing charges in a hit-and-run case, as well as more on the end of a Penn State trustee legal battle.
We also have the latest in the suspension of Eric Swalwell's governor campaign, along with sports, entertainment, weather, and an interview. Stay tuned. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Owen Cameros.
And I'm Cailey Thalman. Matthew D. Wright was arraigned on Friday night on charges including aggravated assault by vehicle while driving under the influence for a hit-and-run crash in State College back in February. White had a blood alcohol content more than twice the legal limit at 0.197 when he hit a 20-year-old Penn State student, leaving her with life-threatening injuries, including a fractured skull and brain bleed. He fled the scene of the crash before police found him using a traffic footage. Police also discovered that his driver's license was suspended. Formal arraignment is scheduled for May 13th.
After a 3-year legal battle, Penn State trustee documents will be released to the public. The Pennsylvania Supreme Court ordered the university to release documents related to a 2022 board committee meeting and private trustee retreat. Penn State must also send over a document about the college's fiscal challenges and budget changes. It's unclear when the records will be publicized.
PennDOT hosted a public testimony meeting to hear from residents about the State College Area Connector project. Members of the public gathered inside Calvary Church to see plans for the $1 billion connecting project that spans 8 miles and crosses over State Route 45 via US 322. Residents brought up the economic impact on the area and the effects the 4-lane highway has on homeowners and local municipalities, among other concerns. Construction will begin in 2030.
The Lamont Railway crossing will be under renovation this week in an effort to repair the decades-old track. The Center Daily Times says repairs are expected to last from Tuesday to Friday. Mount Nittany Drive will be closed during that time. Stakeholders say this project will make boarding trains much easier and also make rides smoother. The estimated cost for the repairs will be between $7,500 to $8,000, and inmates from nearby Benner State Prison will work on the project. Penn State's Women in Business held the 18th annual event last week. Reporter Taylor Pollock is live in our studio now with more on the conference. Taylor?
Thanks, Owen. Last week, I had the chance to attend the Powerful Women Paving the Way conference, where students focused on networking and career growth. Let's take a look. At the Penn State Air Conference Center, the room was filled with ambition, advice, and a clear message. Success does not happen alone. The 18th annual Powerful Women Paving the Way conference brought together female leaders, young professionals, and students for 2 days of professional development hosted by the Smeal College of Business and Penn State Women in Business. From keynote speakers to breakout sessions, networking opportunities, complimentary meals, and even raffle prizes, the conference was built to do more than inspire. It was designed to prepare students for what comes next.
Yeah, so the nice thing about this conference, one of my favorite things about it, is that it's open to anyone. So I know it's co-hosted by Women in Business. We kind of put it on, but it's not exclusive to Women in Business. We want anyone, it's even open to men if they would like to come. I know it's not typically who does come, but it's open to anybody who wants to grow as a professional.
This year's featured speakers included former Duck Donuts CEO Betsy Ham, former NASA astronaut and aerospace engineer Jeanette Epps, Penn State Athletics Deputy AD Leah Beasley, and Penn State's women volleyball head coach Katie Schumacher-Cauley. For students trying to break into competitive industries, that kind of access matters. At a university where thousands of students are competing for jobs and internships, events like these allow students to stand out not just by what they know, but by who they meet. And behind the scenes, that opportunity takes nearly a full year to build.
It starts pretty much late April. We start booking our venue way far in advance. Speakers start kind of throughout July and then on throughout the year. So everything's kind of continuous. But
that planning also included a bigger push to make more students know the conference was available to them.
Yeah, absolutely. So I know a big thing we really wanted to implement this year was more visibility for the conference. And so that kind of meant growing our social media accounts more and trying to put in like more of an emphasis on like getting the conference pushed out on there.
At Penn State, the conference offered more than advice. It offered perspective, connection, and a reminder that career growth often begins with showing up. In University Park, Taylor Pollock, Penn State Network News. Opportunities like this can shape career paths long after the event ends. Back to you, Owen.
Thanks, Taylor. What can students expect for the weather this week? Student meteorologist Danny Weaver is live in the studio with this week's forecast. Daniel?
Well, Owen, it's going to be pretty warm. In fact, I might even throw out the H word. It's going to be hot. Yeah, especially on Wednesday and Thursday, we'll see temperatures in the mid-80s. Philly might see temperatures in the 90s, breaking some all-time records. But here in Owen State College, we're expecting some rain about tomorrow, maybe a few thunderstorms too, a marginal severe threat up to our north. And then on Wednesday morning, we'll see low temperatures in the 60s, about where our average high should be. And then we'll climb back up into the 80s, in fact, mid-80s, peaking around Wednesday and Thursday. Close to records, but not quite setting records here. That's down in Philadelphia. Here, though, at Beaver Stadium, still right outside at 7 o'clock this evening. Mostly cloudy skies, though sun is about to set. Temperatures at 79 degrees, feels like 79, even though that dew point is approaching that 50, getting a little close to that 60-degree mark, but the humidity is not too bad. Temperatures across the Commonwealth, though, 79 in State College, 76 in Pittsburgh, 72 in Erie, and 79 as well in the city of Brotherly Love down in the southeast. If we zoom out across the rest of the lower 48, you can see the kind of the weather pattern that we're in. We're pretty cool to the west, pretty warm to the east, and that's kind of a flip-flop to where we've been most of this winter. We've been warm in the west and cold in the east. And you can see that stark temperature gradient right there. That's a weather system developing, bringing some active severe weather across the Great Plains, and that will be shifting its way towards the east, but not going to impact us all too much. Maybe just a marginal severe threat tomorrow. Otherwise, though, temperatures are pretty warm compared to where they were yesterday, except for the western half of the Commonwealth, where they already saw their warm-up yesterday, and this time it's the eastern half's turn to see their warm-up. A little breezy out there, too, so helping to cool things down a little bit, but at least it's not too cold outside where you'd have to worry too much about the wind chill. Satellite radar, maybe just a few pesky showers. Not even sure if these are reaching the ground, but it might be something to have to worry about tonight as we time things out in the motion. We'll see a few more chances of showers later tonight into early tomorrow morning, but we could use that rain, especially down in the southeast where they're dealing with a big drought. Then we'll see a line of showers and thunderstorms move through by about Tuesday afternoon into the evening. Again, the marginal severe threat up towards the northwest, and then we'll see the clouds clear out as the system moves off towards the east. Speaking of that marginal severe threat, we have a marginal risk that's this area shaded in dark green. That's a level 1 out of 5 for severe weather. Damaging winds over 58 miles an hour are the main threat with these storms. For tonight, though, we'll see a low temperature of around 60 degrees. Again, where our average high should be. So that goes to show you how insanely warm we are. We'll be a little breezy too with the west wind of around 13 miles an hour. Might have to watch for an isolated shower or two, but the bulk of the rain will come tomorrow. And then speaking of tomorrow, we'll see those temperatures around over 80. We'll see a temperature of around 81 degrees, partly cloudy skies during the day, but then we'll see those rain chances in the afternoon and evening hours, maybe a rumble of thunder as well. As we look at that 7-day forecast, though, we're peaking things around Wednesday and Thursday, cooling things a little bit on Friday and Saturday, but then really dropping things off on Sunday and Monday back to reality. In fact, a little bit below average for those 2 days. Back to you, Owen.
Thanks, Daniel. Now over to Emily with the latest in sports.
Thanks, Owen. I'm Emily Sapley with your sports update. Gavin McKenna has officially been named a second Team West All-American. He is just the fourth Nittany Lion to earn that status, including Aiden Fink, Cole Holtz, and Nate Soucies. Last month, he was also named the Big Ten Freshman of the Year and won the Big Ten scoring title. McKenna had 15 goals and 36 assists in only 35 games this season. He still remains the potential #1 pick in the 2026 NHL Draft. Amelia White made her first career start in the NWSL for the Kansas City Current last Thursday. She graduated from Penn State in December, where she was a forward for Penn State's women's soccer for 4 years. In her freshman year, she made the Big Ten all-freshman team. In her senior year, she started every single game and ended her collegiate career with 11 goals and 14 assists. She signed with the Current in January and made her professional debut on March 28th. The Colorado Avalanche's head coach Jared Bednar is out for the rest of the regular season. Saturday night, the Avalanche faced off against the Vegas Golden Knights. In the third period, Coach Bednar was hit by a deflected puck on his right cheek. He was immediately taken to the hospital where it was confirmed he sustained a facial fracture and a corneal abrasion. The injuries don't require surgery, but it's unclear if Bednar will start with the team for playoffs. Assistant coaches Nolan Pratt and Dave Haxtell will take over in Bednar's absence. It took Rory McIlroy over a decade to earn his first green jacket, and now he has his second. Last night, he became the fourth golfer to win the Masters back-to-back and the first person to since Tiger Woods did in 2001 and 2002. McIlroy briefly lost a 6-stroke lead on Sunday, but eventually regained control. He had a 2-stroke lead headed into the last hole, but ended with a bogey. But that was still enough to beat Scotty Scheffler by 1 shot, shutting down Scheffler's chance for a third green jacket. That's all for your sports update. After the break, Sydney Cox has the latest in the world of entertainment. Stay tuned.
Live from the campus of Penn State University, this is PSN News.
Penn State Network News is a student-produced, bi-weekly live news show featuring all student talent.
From local and national news to sports, entertainment, weather, and live interviews, we have it all.
We also feature student-made packages from across campus.
Airing every Monday and Wednesday at 7 p.m.
We are PSN News.
Be sure to check us out on Twitter and Facebook at PSN News, on Instagram at Penn State Network News, and to subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/PSN News.
Have a good night and stay safe, Penn State.
Welcome back to PSN News. I'm Sydney Cox with your entertainment update. This weekend, Hot Wheels monster trucks are coming to the Bryce Jordan Center. See live the action toys, but this time with glow and fire. As the event returns to the Penn State campus, fans can expect fire, crazy lights, and edge-of-your-seat stunts. Open to all ages, it's bigger and hotter than ever. The event is this weekend with 2 shows on April 18th and 1 on April 19th. Tickets can be bought online, and student price tickets are also available. There is a pre-show party and exclusive VIP experience available as well. All procedures and policies of the BJC do apply. Tussey Mountain recently released their music lineup for the annual Summer Wing Fest. Going into its 25th year, the festival event will start on June 11th, and this year includes an extra week through August 6th. With local and touring acts such as Velveeta, My Hero Zero, tribute bands, and more, the musical acts will compete for the title of Wing King. Wingfest is also supported by local food and drink establishments and will be emceed by Ricky Lapine, which benefits the Acres Project, a Center County nonprofit dedicated to empowering adults with autism. Ticket and competitor information is to come at a later date. Last week, the Blue and White Society held PSU I Heart You Week to promote school pride. Reporter Jocelyn Bilker is now live in the studio with more on one of the events. Jocelyn?
Thanks, Sydney. Last week, I had the chance to attend the PS I Love You Week Carnival, created by the Penn State Alumni Association and Lion Ambassadors. Let's take a look.
The Penn State I Love You Week Carnival brought music, games, and lots of school spirit to the Hub lawn as students celebrated what it means to be part of the Penn State community.
From games and music to free food and giveaways, the event offered a break from the usual routine, but organizers say it's about much more than just fun.
So first, we started out by reaching out to a bunch of our amazing vendors that we have all over the Hub lawn today, as well as we reached out to a lot of food vendors to supply this free food for all of the kids on campus. And essentially, we just try and create an environment for every student at Penn State to have fun, come out here, get free things.
Hosted by the Penn State Alumni Association in partnership with the Penn State Lion Ambassadors, the event is designed to bring students together and strengthen their sense of belonging on campus. But behind the scenes, events like this take weeks and sometimes months of planning. I asked organizers what goes into making a day like this possible.
We also have a lot of networking opportunities. All of these opportunities should allow for a small community to be bonded or for everyone to bring their friends and then know more about the Blue and White Society.
From coordinating vendors and activities to making sure students feel welcomed, organizers say every detail is intentional. Their goal? Create an environment where students can connect, even if just for an afternoon.
I just think it's so great that Penn State has so many free events and just stuff to do all the time, and I like to make the most of it.
For students, that effort doesn't go unnoticed. Events like this offer a chance to step outside the stress of classes and remember what makes the Penn State community unique.
As the semester begins to wrap up, organizers hope students carry that sense of community and connection beyond the Hub lawn. Reporting for Penn State Network News, I'm Jocelyn Vilker.
Organizers say events like these are all about building connections and giving students a chance to celebrate what makes the Penn State community unique. Back to you, Sydney.
Thanks, Jocelyn. In national news, Coachella 2026 kicked off its first weekend, and performers definitely got the memo that there was history to be made. Sabrina Carpenter headlined on Friday with one of the biggest performances the festival has seen, including 5 celebrity cameos, multiple costume changes, and an over 90-minute Hollywood-themed set. Justin Bieber headlined on Saturday, playing some of his most popular songs. But the best part to most was when he sat down with a MacBook and scrolled through his old music videos. Karol G closed out the weekend on Sunday, celebrating her Latino culture and heritage. Fans are excited to see what changes with Weekend 2. Euphoria returned last night for season 3, but fans of the hit show are having some mixed reviews. The first 2 seasons followed the main characters in high school, with seasons 1 and 2 premiering in 2019 and 2022. Although the 3rd season of Euphoria was renewed in February 2022, production was delayed and filming did not start until 2025. Changes in the story meant the characters are all grown up now, and it seems the audience is too. With the change of plot, change of characters, and a time jump, Season 3 is potentially the final season of the Emmy Award-winning show. The first episode is now out on HBO Max. That's all for your entertainment update. Coming up next, interview anchor Cailey Miller will be speaking with Mariana Kevges, the Internship Program Director of Happy Valley United. Stay tuned.
Hey, everybody. Thank you for tuning into this edition of Penn State Sports Night.
For all of us here at the Belisari Media Center, we are
Penn State Sports Night.
Ready, mics? 3, 2, fade in on 2, mic and cue.
This is Nittany Talk.
I would say spring.
Slow down.
And he knew that. How do you think? I know. She continues to hold her values and everything though. And I think that that's really important. So yeah, and self-care Saturday.
And you lose a lot of sleep.
Yes, agreed. Yeah.
Live from the campus of Penn State University, this is PSN News.
Penn State Network News is a student-produced, bi-weekly live news show featuring all student talent.
From local and national news to sports, entertainment, weather, and live interviews, we have it all.
We also feature student-made packages from across campus.
Airing every Monday and Wednesday at 7 p.m.
We are PSN News.
Be sure to check us out on Twitter and Facebook at PSN News, on Instagram at Penn State Network News, and to subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/PSN News.
Have a good night and stay safe, Penn State.
Hey everyone, welcome to Culture Central. My name is Jaden Stewart,
What's good, everybody? My name is Eric Pichardo, and we are your hosts
creators
and executive producers of Culture Central. Is this Whitney Houston?
We're doing things that have never been done before, so welcome to the family.
Hey everyone, we are Red Carpet News, your main source of entertainment news at Penn State University. Man, this festival is going to be popping.
I'm Alex Porzillo, here with Aiden Harold.
He's going to 23rd with Daddy Elon Warbucks to actual space away from Kim.
So in sync, especially during Kendrick's part when they came out, reporting on anything from music, movies, TV shows, fashion, to celebrity gossip. You don't want to miss out on any of the hot topics we discuss.
Find our segments on YouTube under the name Red Carpet News for your daily dose of entertainment.
We are Red Carpet News.
If you don't include human beings, you cannot accurately model the way the climate has changed over the last 50 years.
And I don't know that we're ever going to be free of some sort of bug.
A natural state of motion for something to be in is to remain in its current state of motion.
Been lucky enough to discover various things out there. Pulsars, exoplanets, and some other phenomena that ended up being interesting.
Hi, I'm Johnson Gary with Asking Penn State.
With Asking Penn State, Asking Penn State.
Asking Penn State.
Asking Penn State.
Welcome back to Asking Penn State.
Welcome back to PSN News. I'm Cailey Miller, and today I'm joined by Mariana Kebgis, Internship Program Director of Happy Valley United. Thank you so much for coming in tonight, Mariana.
Of course, I'm happy to be here.
So to start, could you just give us a description of what Happy Valley United is and what its relationship is with athletics?
Yeah, so Happy Valley United is Penn State's NIL collective, meaning we serve all 31 varsity teams here at Penn State. We're the people that kind of pay the athletes. We work out all that NIL money through donations, fundraising, etc. And we help all athletes, not just football, all the athletes.
And your job as internship program director, what does that consist of? And how do you interact with all the other interns on a day-to-day basis?
So my best way to describe it is we are led by Mike Villagrana, the executive director of football. And my best kind of comparison for this is that Mike is like the GM of a football team. And I kind of act as the head coach. At the end of the day, the GM gets the final say, but the head coach is kind of the person that can make those day-to-day calls to make the team run. So as internship program director, I oversee all of our interns across all the different departments. So we have 32 interns. We've got production, editing, social media, interviewing personalities, revenue, operations. And so my job is to kind of make sure the day-to-day of HVU runs smoothly and according to our mission and what we want to do. And, if there's a department that needs a little bit more help, I'm going to spend more time with them. But generally, I oversee every department and every intern.
And other than football, what other events and games can you guys be found at?
We cover all athletics. So if you go to our Instagram page, we do live updates for all sports. We're always there. You'll find us out and about at every single game. We're always there. But we just launched a new platform called HVU Insider. You can find us online at insider.happyvalleyunited.com. And with this platform, students, alumni, donors, they can log on and they can make an account, sign up. And all you have to do is read articles, watch our videos, and you get points. And those points help you win game day experiences. So fans can actually win on-field game day experiences.
And could you maybe give us more of an explanation about those experiences that you're talking about?
Yeah. So for example, we just had Pro Day a few weeks ago, and our Pro Day experience was we had a father and a son that won that sweepstakes, and they kind of got to go. They had a paid pass for Pro Day, and they joined Mike and I throughout the day. They got memorabilia, signed memorabilia, just free merchandise, T-shirts, things like that. And they got to be on the field and watch Pro Day, just like the coaches, the NFL coaches, and the team members, families that were there.
And as we go into the summer, what will your work look like and maybe the organization as a whole?
I think for me specifically, my workload won't be as heavy as it is, when we're on campus and there's things happening every day because no sports are in season at that point. But I primarily do a lot of our social media posting, scheduling interviews with football recruits. So that stuff will remain the same. It'll just be more of a remote job at that point. And if there are events that I need to come back to State College for, it's not a far drive for me. So I can easily make that work if I need to be, but it'll primarily be remote.
Right. And Happy Valley United is all about NIL. NIL is pretty new to the sports world. Yes. How do you navigate that and try to use it to your advantage?
I think it's both a pro and a con of NIL, how crazy it is. And things change literally every single day. No day looks the same. And I think as crazy as that can be to like a normal person, they're like, well, what do you mean? Like there's no rules? There's not. But what's so interesting about that is we can really make it our own. And no other school does what Happy Valley United does. HVU Insider is a completely new platform where fans, alumni, donors, everybody can scout like pro teams do. And I think that's what's so intriguing about what we do, because there's not a lot of that in the NIL space. And so we're kind of breaking the fourth wall there and getting into a new field, and we can make it what we want.
So that for anyone that doesn't see your content, what does that look like? Like, what could we find you guys posting?
So you can find us on every social media platform. We do a lot of behind the scenes of NIL events. We do a lot of fundraising events. So we post a lot of behind the scenes content for those events. We post game day behind the scenes for football primarily, but we'll do scoring updates for other sports, things like that. And then as the year goes on, right now we're in the off season, and people are like, well, what is there in football off season? There's so much. You've got the NFL draft coming up next weekend, which we'll probably be at. You've got pro day. You've got summer like warm-ups or summer practices, spring practices, blue and white game, like all these things. And there's still so much going on all the time. So any coverage like that you can find.
And through all of these experiences, like what have you learned personally through the program, interacting with the players?
A lot. I think this experience teaches you a lot also about how to be a leader, right? You can't just wake up one day and decide like, oh, I want to be a leader. No, it takes these experiences and learning how to navigate conflict in the workplace and putting out fires really fast. Things come up like that, and you have to be able to adapt. Not everything's going to go perfectly. And I think that adaptability is the best thing that I have learned in this job, because again, not every day looks the same, and things come up and things change in an instant. And it's so important to be able to know how to calmly and properly execute when things shift and don't go the way you want.
Right. And in such a dynamic sports environment, what does your relationship look like with everybody involved in the program, and maybe furthermore the athletes?
I think it builds really great relationships with the athletes. I remember when we first started this internship program was brand new. Not a lot of people knew about it, especially the athletes. And at first they were like, who are these girls like trying to interview us? Like, what is going on right now? But eventually, as you start to interview them for more and more things, they get more comfortable, and it makes those conversations a lot easier. It really feels like at the end of the day, you're just talking to a friend over lunch or coffee or whatever it is.
Yeah. And so going into a new era of football at Penn State, what can we expect from HVU come the fall?
You can expect a lot. We've got a lot of new things planned, a lot more fan experiences, and check out insider.happyvalleyunited.com because we post updates on there all the time, and that's where you can find out everything HVU. But we got a lot of exciting things coming up. I can't say too much.
Well, thank you so much, Mariana, for coming in tonight. Now, stay tuned because coming up next, Cailey and Owen will have the latest news from across the nation.
Ready, Mike?
3, 2,
fade in on 2, Mike and Q.
This is Nittany Talk.
I would say spring.
Slow down.
When he knew that, how do you say
I know.
She like continues to hold her values and everything though. And I think that that's really important. So yeah, and self-care Saturday.
And you lose a lot of sleep.
Yes, agreed. Yeah.
Bye.
Hey everyone, welcome to Culture Central. My name is Jaden Stewart.
What's good, everybody? My name is Eric Swalwell, and we are your hosts,
creators,
and executive producers of Culture Central. Is this Whitney Houston?
We're doing things that have never been done before. So welcome to the family.
If you don't include human beings, you cannot accurately model the way the climate has changed over the last 50 years.
And I don't know that we're ever going to be free of some sort of bug.
A natural state of motion for something to be in is to remain in its current state of motion.
Been lucky enough to discover various things out there. Pulsars, exoplanets, and some other phenomena that ended up being interesting.
Hi, I'm Johnson Gary with Asking Penn State.
What if Asking Penn State? Asking Penn State.
Asking Penn State.
Asking Penn State.
Welcome back to Asking Penn State.
Federal Judge Paul Friedman ruled on Thursday that the Defense Department is violating his earlier order to restore access to the Pentagon for reporters. This is the second time in a month that Friedman has sided with the New York Times. Friedman has ordered Pentagon officials to reinstate the press credentials of 7 Times reporters and all regulated parties. The Defense Department said it disagrees with the ruling and intends to appeal. This dispute between the press and Defense Department has been going on since October, when reporters walked out of the Pentagon rather than agree to the new rules.
California governor candidate Eric Swalwell has suspended his campaign and resigned from Congress amid sexual assault allegations. Prominent supporters of Swalwell had withdrawn their support after a woman alleged he sexually assaulted her twice. The San Francisco Chronicle reported Friday that a woman claimed Swalwell assaulted her in 2019 while she was working for him, and again in 2024. The Democratic representative was the leading candidate to replace Governor Gavin Newsom, who will likely run for president in 2028. Earlier today, the House Ethics Committee announced an investigation into the allegations.
A man with a machete randomly attacked 3 people at a major New York City subway station on Saturday morning. He has since been shot and killed by police, local authorities said. The man was ordered to drop his weapon at least 20 times, but refused to comply. The officers shot him twice when he advanced towards them with the knife extended. The 3 stabbed victims sustained injuries, but they were not deemed to be life-threatening. The suspect, Anthony Griffin, had 3 prior unsealed arrests.
5 people in California are facing murder charges in connection with an explosion at an illegal fireworks warehouse that killed 7 people. The early July explosion rocked a Sacramento suburb and caused a massive fire. 8 total people face charges, including a police lieutenant accused of using her position as sheriff to help hide the illegal warehouse from authorities. The 5 individuals are scheduled to be arraigned today in Yolo County. Now, over to Emma Goldkoff with the latest in international news.
Thanks, Owen. I'm Emma Goldkoff with your international news update. Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban has been ousted after 16 years in power. Orban, a close ally of President Trump and Vladimir Putin, quickly conceded defeat to Peter Magyar. Magyar has pleaded to rebuild Hungary's relationships with NATO and the EU. Orban's defeat is expected to affect far-right movements across the world, who have viewed him as an influential figure for nationalist populism. And the Russia-Ukraine war continues, and they're accusing each other of violating a Kremlin-declared Easter ceasefire this weekend. Russia declared a 32-hour ceasefire lasting till the end of Sunday, which Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky agreed to abide by. But by 7 a.m. on Sunday, the General Staff of Ukraine's armed forces said it had recorded nearly 2,500 violations, including assaults, shellings, and small bomb launches. Russia's defense ministry says it recorded nearly 2,000 violations. But despite doubts a truce would last, Ukrainians gathered outside of Kyiv to celebrate the holiday. That's all for your international news update. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Emma. That concludes our show tonight at PSN News.
Be sure to check us out on Twitter and Facebook at PSN News, on Instagram at Penn State Network News, and to subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/PSN News.
Have a good night and stay safe, Penn State.